Ash falls over Mordor like black snow, and in the choking dark, a small pale shape runs, barefoot and bleeding, clutching a gold band that burns his bones. Behind him, towers blaze, orcs scream, and the eye on high flares wide and white with sudden terror. Gollum does not look back. He plunges into a cleft of broken rock as Nazgul's shadows sweep the sky, and the ring on his finger laughs without a sound. If you enjoy diving into these darker paths of Middle-earth, remember to like the video and subscribe so you do not miss the next one. Tell me in the comments which realm you would defend in this timeline and where in Arda you are watching from. The mountain groans behind him as he vanishes into the fractures of Mordor, swallowed by stone and smoke. Far above, Barad-dûr shudders. The eye had seen him. It had seen the ring, glittering for an instant on a filthy hand as Gollum stumbled from a sewer tunnel into the open ash plain, too desperate to remember stealth. A shriek had gone up from the watchtowers, a ripple of fear and fury that ran through the dark land like lightning through roots. Yet Gollum had moved with a speed and cunning, born of centuries of hiding. In that first heartbeat of discovery, before orders could be shouted and riders loosed, he had thrown himself into a wide crack in the ashen ground, vanishing from sight, as if the mountain itself had swallowed him. Now he writhes through the hot dark, lungs burning, fingers clamped so tight on the ring that his knuckles have gone white beneath the grime. The stone is warm, almost soft, as if it resents the touch of air. The air in the fissure tastes of iron and old fire. Somewhere above, orcs bellow, and the clatter of armor rattles like hail on iron roofs. He stops only when the crack narrows to a knife edge and the heat forces him to his belly. For a long moment, he lies there, panting, listening to the thunder of his own heart and the distant roar of Mordor searching for him. "Precious," he whispers into the stone. "We has you back. We has you back." The ring is very quiet. It does not need to speak. It has already chosen. In the Black Tower, Sauron stands motionless. He has no body in the mortal sense, but he has a shape of thought and will that towers in the unseen. The great eye that men fear is only a sign of his attention, a symbol wrought in fire and malice, now that attention narrows, sharp as a spear point, to a single crack in the wasted plain. He feels the ring near him, near and yet not in his hand. That is a pain beyond words. For an instant, the Dark Lord is silent, tasting something that might almost be remembered as fear. The ring is not on a chain at the neck of some fool who blunders into his land by chance. It is in the hand of a creature he knows. He remembers the thin, reedy voice in the dungeons of Barad-dûr, the smell of damp cave and riverweed, the way the creature had screamed when they carved the secrets from him. Smeargol. He had let the thing go once its use was spent. It had crawled away toward the west, broken and empty. He had turned his gaze to Gondor, to Rohan, to the lands of men. He had not thought that ragged scrap of life worth another thought. Yet the ring has gone to him. Sauron's will lashes out, a silent command that slams into the minds of captains and beasts for leagues around. Nazgul wheel in the sky, their mounts screaming. Trolls halt mid-stride. Orcs stagger as if struck. "Find him!" the command hisses in their skulls. "Find the ring-bearer." The search begins. Gollum, pressed against the hot stone, feels something brush his mind like a cold hand through water. He whimpers and curls tighter around the ring. He He remembers the questions, the pain, the eye that saw everything. He knows with the animal's certainty of prey that it is looking for him again. But he is not the same creature who was dragged from the roots of the misty mountains. He has been hunted by elves and rangers, beaten, bound, and driven through the dead marshes. He has watched his precious hang on a chain in front of his eyes, worn by a soft hobbit who smelled of sunlight and bread. He has seen fire on the mountain and felt the call of the ring like a song in his bones. He has learned. Slowly, he slides the ring onto his finger. The world goes thin and grey. Heat and smell and sound draw back, as if he has stepped behind a curtain. He feels the eye turn, sharp and sudden, stabbing toward him. Then something else moves. It is not Gollum. It is older than him, older than the misty mountains, older than the first stone that fell to form the depths where he once hid. It is the will of the ring, and it twists, just slightly, in the space between Sauron's gaze and Gollum's shriveled soul. The eye sees a flicker, a shadow of a shadow slipping deeper into the cracks of the earth. For the first time since he forged the ring, Sauron's sight is not clear. He cannot see the bearer. He can only feel the ring itself, like a coal somewhere under his hand, near yet not grasped. The fissures of Orodruin are many, the tunnels of Mordor deep and tangled. The mountain gnaws itself from within. Smoke and fume confuse even the keenest senses. The Dark Lord weighs his choice. He can send his full might to search the mountain and the plain around it, to tear every stone aside until the creature is found. Yet Gondor stands at his gate. The captains of the West have drawn up their challenge before the very teeth of Mordor. His armies wait for his command to destroy them and break the last strength of men. The ring is almost within his reach, but the men of the West are at his door. He chooses. The hosts of Mordor pour through the Black Gate. On the ashen plain before the Morannon, Aragorn, son of Arathorn, feels the ground tremble. The wind that comes out of the Black Land is hot and smells of blood. The sky is a lid of cloud, low and heavy. The banners of Gondor and Rohan snap and strain, their colours dulled by ash. Beside him, Gandalf sits his horse, staff in hand, eyes narrowed. His face is very still. "They come," says Legolas softly, his elven sight piercing the murk. They have come knowing they are walking into death. When the mouth of Sauron had ridden forth with Frodo's mithril coat and Sam's sword, hope had guttered like a candle in a sudden wind. Yet Gandalf had not yielded, nor had Aragorn. "We will give him this battle," the wizard had said, "and in so doing, we will draw his eye. If there is any hope left in this world, it lies not with us." Hope, then, lies with Frodo and Sam on the mountain. But Frodo lies in the dark of Cirith Ungol, stripped and poisoned, and Samwise Gamgee is alone on the ashen slopes, clutching a ring that is no longer there. Sam stands on a ledge of black rock, chest heaving, mind blank. The chain around his neck is light, too light. He fumbles for the ring and finds only emptiness. His fingers close on air. For a moment, he does not understand. The world narrows to the space between his hands and his heart. "It is gone," he says aloud, his voice a dry croak. "No, no, it cannot be." He drops to his knees, scrabbling at his clothes, his pack, the stones around him as if it might have fallen, the ash cakes under his nails. The mountain rumbles far above, a deep, sullen growl. "Mr. Frodo," he whispers. "Mr. Frodo, I am sorry. I am so sorry. He remembers the feel of the ring on his neck, the weight of it, the whisper at the edge of his thoughts. He remembers the moment in the tower when he had taken it, believing Frodo dead, and the way it had seemed to fit against his heart, like something that had been waiting for him all his life. He had given it back. He had meant to carry it only as far as he must. He had not thought it could be taken from him without his knowing. Above him, unseen, Gollum wriggles through the skin of the mountain like a worm through rotten wood, the ring on his finger and a wild, giddy light in his pale eyes. Sam stares at his empty hand until his vision blurs. He could turn back now. He could go down the mountain, find Frodo if he still lives, and die beside him. There is no hope. Without the ring, the quest has failed. The armies of the West will be destroyed. The Shire will burn. He feels something harden in him. No, he says, though there is no one to hear. I will not give him the pleasure of seeing me crawl away. He pushes himself to his feet. If there is no ring to destroy, there is still one thing he can do. He can find Frodo. He can free him if he lives, or avenge him if he does not. And he can look upon the fire that was meant to end all things and remember, the thought is small, stubborn, and utterly Samwise. He turns his back on the path that leads to the cracks of doom and begins to climb toward the Tower of Cirith Ungol. Far below, in the cracks of the mountain, Gollum emerges into a pocket of space no larger than a cottage room. The walls glow faint red, veins of molten stone pulsing like the insides of a living beast. The air is so hot it sears his throat with every breath. He does not care. He crouches on a ledge above a slow river of lava, the ring still on his finger. The world is a thin, pale thing around him, full of distant echoes. He can feel the eye searching, but it is as if the ring has pulled a veil between them. He giggles, a high, cracked sound. He cannot see us, he whispers. No, he cannot. We are too quick for him. Yes, we are. Clever Sméagol. Clever Precious. The ring is heavy on his hand. It is not a weight like metal. It is the weight of a gaze, of a mind that presses against his own. It is like holding a star that wants to fall back into the sky. Sméagol, it says, without words. His head jerks. Who speaks? He whimpers. He knows, of course. He has known for a long time, in the way things are known in dreams and nightmares. But he has never heard it so clearly. Sméagol, the voice says again, and it is not cruel. It is not kind. It is vast and smooth and patient. You have served me long. He shakes his head, clutching his ears with his free hand, though the voice is inside him. No, we hates you. We hates you, precious. You burns us, you leaves us, you goes to the fat hobbit, you goes to him and leaves us alone. You followed, the ring says. You came through darkness and fire to take me back. You were beaten, yet you did not turn aside. You were tormented, yet you did not betray me fully. You are faithful. The word is like a caress and a chain. Faithful. Gollum whimpers. We told them. We told the Eye where you was, he mutters. We told the tall men. We told them, yes, we did. We betrayed, we did. You spoke because you were broken, the ring replies. You were not meant for their hands. You were meant for mine. You have brought me back to the fire. You have done well. Gollum blinks. He does not understand all the words, but he understands the tone. Praise. When was the last time anyone praised him? Not since he was Sméagol, long ago, on a riverbank under a sky that was not always grey, before he killed for the precious, before he forgot the sound of his own name. He rocks on his heels. "We did," he says slowly. "We did bring you. We followed them. We crept. We watched. We saved you from the fat hobbit when he was going to throw you away." The ring warms on his finger. "Yes," it says. "You saved me, and I will save you." He freezes. Save. There is nothing in Gollum's life that resembles being saved. There is only hunger and fear and the gnawing ache of wanting the ring. Yet the word stirs something in him that is not entirely malice. A memory of a grandmother's hand, of a birthday long ago. "How?" he whispers. "Put me away," the ring says. "Hide me from the eye that seeks me. The Dark Lord watches. He will come. If he takes me now, he will burn all things. He will burn you, Smeagol. He will unmake you until you are less than a whisper." Gollum cringes. He remembers the dungeons. He remembers the eye. "Hide me," the ring says. "Keep me. Take me away from this place. There are other paths. There are other hands that may yet bear me. You are small. You are forgotten. You can slip where no armies go." Gollum licks his cracked lips. "Why?" he asks, and the question surprises even him. "Why should we? We has you. We wants you. We does not want to give you to anyone. Not the eye, not the hobbits, not the men, not the elves. Ours." The ring is silent for a moment. This, too, it has foreseen. "You will keep me," it says at last, "for now, but you cannot keep me forever. You are weak, Smeagol. Your bones are thin, your mind is broken. You cannot walk in the sun. You cannot wield me as I must be wielded." Gollum snarls. "We is strong," he hisses. "We has lived longer than any of them. We has killed. We has survived. We is strong. You are cunning, the ring allows. You are enduring. But you are not great. You are not Sauron. You are not the Elf Queen. You are not the heir of Isildur. You are a shadow in the dark. That is your strength. Use it. Take me away from the eye. Hide me. When the time is right, I will choose another hand. Until then, you will have me. You will be my keeper. The word settles into Gollum's mind like a stone into mud. He imagines himself in some deep cave, far from the fire and the eye, the ring on his finger, safe and alone. No orcs, no elves, no hobbits, no whips, no ropes, no bright, cruel light. Just him, and precious forever. He bares his teeth in something that might be a smile. "Yes," he whispers. "Yes, we will keep you, precious. We will hide you. We will not let him have you. No, no, not ever again." Far above, Sauron feels something shift. The sense of the ring so close begins to move, not toward him. Away, down, then sideways, into the old bones of the mountain, and out along some forgotten vent. There are cracks in Mordor that even he does not know. Fissures that go back to the making of the world. The ring is small, and its bearer is smaller. They slip through the lines of his sight like a spider through a net. For a moment, rage blinds him. The hosts at the Black Gate waver as a wave of fury slams through their ranks. Trolls clutch their heads. Orcs fall to their knees, howling. Even the Nazgûl stagger in the air. In that instant, on the plain before the Morannon, men feel the world tilt. Aragorn sways in his saddle as a pressure like a storm front presses against his skull. His horse rears, screaming, white foam on its lips. Around him, soldiers cry out, some dropping their swords to clutch at their temples. Gandalf lifts his staff. "Hold!" he shouts, his voice ringing like a bell through the chaos. "Stand! Men of the West! Stand!" He feels it too, the eye turning, not to them, away. For a heartbeat, hope flares in his chest. Has Frodo done it? But no. If the ring had fallen into the fire, Sauron would be gone. The world would shake with the unmaking of his power. This is something else, a sudden sharp wrench of attention. The wizard's thoughts race. If the eye is not on them, it is on the ring. The ring is moving. It is not in the Dark Lord's hand, or his joy would be a blaze of triumph, not this jagged, frustrated fury. The ring is near, but not taken. The balance of the world hangs on a knife edge. Sauron drags his will back under control. He cannot abandon the battle now. The men of the West are at his gate. If he draws his armies back, if he hesitates, they may yet find some way to break his siege, to slip some knife between the plates of his armor. He will crush them. He will break their bodies and their spirits. He will leave their cities in ruins and their fields salted. He will make of Gondor a place of death and fear. Then, when there is no one left to resist him, he will turn his full attention to finding the ring. The decision is made in an instant. The hosts of Mordor surge forward. The battle at the Black Gate begins in earnest. On the slopes of Mount Doom, Samwise Gamgee hears, very faintly, the echo of distant horns and the roar of many voices. It is like the sound of the sea in a shell, far away, and yet close enough to chill his heart. He does not turn. He climbs. The path to Cirith Ungol is steep and treacherous, a scar of broken stone and loose scree. The air is full of ash that stings his eyes. His legs burn. His lungs feel as if they are filled with hot sand. But he climbs. He thinks of Frodo alone in some dark place. He thinks of Rosie standing in the doorway of the Green Dragon, sunlight on her hair. He thinks of the party tree. He does not think of the ring. He cannot bear to. Behind him, in the bowels of the mountain, Gollum squeezes through the last of the hot cracks and comes out into a low, broad tunnel that slopes gently downward. The air here is cooler, though it still tastes of sulfur. In the distance, he can hear the drip of water. He sniffs. Water. His tongue flicks over his cracked lips. He moves quickly now, the ring still on his finger. The world is grey and thin, but he is used to that. He has lived half his life in such a twilight, slipping between seen and unseen. He pads along the tunnel, bare feet silent on the stone. The passage twists and turns. Sometimes it narrows so that he must go on all fours. Sometimes it opens into small chambers where old lava once pooled and cooled, leaving strange ripples in the rock. Once he passes a fissure where a thin trickle of water runs down the wall, hissing as it touches some unseen heat below. He stops to drink, lapping like an animal, the water tasting of iron and smoke. He does not know where he is going. He only knows that he is going away, away from the eye, away from the fire, away from the place where the ring might yet be taken from him. The ring does not guide him with words. It does not need to. It nudges here and there, a faint pull in his bones when he comes to a fork in the path. Left, not right, up, not down. Through this crack, not that. It has its own will. It has no desire to be thrown into the fire that can unmake it. It has no desire to return to Sauron in this moment, when his power is still bound to it so tightly that their fates are one. It remembers, in its own way, the knife of Isildur, the hand that took it, the long years of wandering on cold stone with no master to wield it. It has learned. If Sauron takes it now, the world will end in a way that leaves it no room to move. The Dark Lord will cover all lands in shadow. There will be no more kings to tempt, no more elves to whisper to, no more men to twist. Only obedience, only one will. The ring does not want obedience. It wants desire. It wants struggle. It wants hands that tremble when they touch it. So it flees. in the grasp of a creature too small to understand the game it plays. The tunnel slopes downward. After a long time means little in the dark, but Gollum's legs ache and his breath comes in ragged gasps. The air changes. It grows damper, cooler. The smell of sulfur fades, replaced by the cold, clean scent of deep stone and old water. He knows this smell. It is the smell of home. Not his home in the misty mountains, not exactly, but close enough to stir a fierce, aching longing in his chest. The dark, the wet, the quiet. He giggles softly. Yes, he whispers. Yes, this is good. This is better. We will find a new cave, precious, a new home. We will hide, and no one will find us. Not the eye, not the elves, not the nasty hobbits. The ring is heavy on his finger. He does not take it off. On the plain before the Black Gate, the hosts crash together. Orcs swarm like black ants, their shrieks high and vicious. Trolls thunder forward, swinging great hammers that smash men and horses alike. Haradrim ride tall on their mumakil, spears glittering, eyes hard. The ground shakes with the impact. Aragorn rides into the press with Andúril in his hand. The blade that was broken now reforged, its light a cold fire in the gloom. He cuts down an orc with a single stroke, then another, his movements fluid and sure. Around him, the Dúnedain of the north fight with grim determination, their faces set. Gimli roars, his axe rising and falling, beard matted with sweat and blood. That still only counts as one, he bellows at Legolas as the elf sends an arrow through the eye of a troll that topples like a falling tower. Legolas does not answer. His eyes are turned to the sky. The Nazgûl wheel above the battle, their fell beasts screaming. They dive, snatching men from the ground, smashing through ranks with their wings. Fear goes before them like a wind. Men cower, shields raised, as the shadow of their passing chills their bones. Gandalf raises his staff. "Stand, men of the West!" he cries again. "You fight for the world of men and elves and all free folk. There is no other hope." He does not say that their hope lies now in a creature he would not have trusted with a silver spoon in the kitchens of Rivendell. He does not know that the ring has chosen a different path. In Minas Tirith, the White City still smokes. The siege has been broken. The Witch King has fallen. Éowyn lies in the houses of healing, her arm bound, her breath slow but steady. Faramir sleeps in a bed near hers, his fever cooled by kingsfoil and the touch of a king. The people of the city move like ghosts through the streets, carrying water, clearing rubble, tending the wounded. The air smells of burned wood and blood, and the sharp, clean scent of Athelas that lingers around the houses. Pippin sits on a low wall in a courtyard, his feet dangling, his armor dented and stained. His hands shake. He can still feel the weight of Denethor's madness, the heat of the pyre. He can still hear the Nazgûl scream as they fell. He can still see the Pelennor strewn with bodies. He looks up at the sky. It is grey. Somewhere beyond the horizon, Frodo and Sam are on the mountain. Somewhere beyond the horizon, Merry rides with the Rohirrim, or lies fallen. Somewhere beyond the horizon, the Black Gate stands. Pippin swallows. "Hold on," he whispers. "Just hold on." He does not know that Frodo has already fallen. In the tower of Cirith Ungol, Samwise Gamgee slides along a wall, listening. The lower levels of the tower are strangely quiet. He has found bodies, orc bodies, hacked and bitten and torn. The stench is almost unbearable. The air is thick with the smell of blood and something fouler. Something like old fear. The stones are cracked as if something great and heavy has struck them. He does not know of the quarrel that tore the garrison apart when Frodo's mithril coat was revealed, the greed that turned orc against orc until none were left alive. He only knows that the silence is wrong. He grips his sword tighter. "Mr. Frodo," he whispers, voice barely more than breath. "Mr. Frodo, sir, are you there?" No answer. He climbs. On the mountain's far side, in the deep places, Gollum moves through a world of stone and water. The tunnel has become a cavern. The roof is lost in darkness. Somewhere above, water drips, slow and steady. The sound echoes, multiplied and distorted, until it seems as if rain is falling all around. The floor is uneven, ridged with old flows of rock. Pools gleam here and there, black and still. Gollum moves like a spider, sure-footed despite the uneven ground. His eyes, huge and pale, drink in what little light there is. A faint red glow from cracks in the rock, a ghostly phosphorescence from some lichen on the walls. He stops at the edge of a pool and peers into it. His reflection stares back, a pale, hairless head, huge eyes, needle teeth. The creature that had crouched in the dark under the misty mountains, mumbling to itself and eating raw fish, is there. But something else is there too. On his finger, the ring glows faintly. In the reflection, it is not gold. It is a circle of burning white, like a tiny eye. He hisses and jerks his hand back. "Do not be afraid," the ring says. "You are mine. I will not harm what is mine." He rocks, arms wrapped around himself. "We is afraid," he mutters. "We is always afraid. The eye, the elves, the men, the bright, cruel lights. We wants the dark. We wants the quiet. We wants only you, precious. And you shall have me," the ring replies. "But you must listen. You must go where I lead. There is a way out of this land. There are old roads, old rivers. The world is wide, Smeagol, wider than you remember." He frowns. "We remembers the river," he says slowly. "We remembers the sun once. We remembers the trees. We remembers the Shire. Yes, we does, though we hates it. Nasty hobbits, always laughing, always eating." But the grass was soft. The air was sweet. The ring is very still. It has felt the Shire through Frodo. It has tasted its peace, its quiet greed, its hidden pride. It remembers the way Frodo's hand shook when he held it, the way he fought it and yielded to it and fought again. It remembers the way Bilbo had used it for tricks and mischief, never understanding what he held. The Shire is a fertile ground. So are many places. There are kings yet in the north of lesser lines. There are lords in Dol Amroth whose blood is mingled with that of elves. There are captains in Rohan whose courage burns bright. There are dwarves under the mountain, greedy and proud. There are elves in Lothlorien and Rivendell, fading but not yet gone. The ring considers. If Sauron falls without it, his power will be broken but not utterly destroyed. His spirit will remain, a shadow in the east, waiting. In the time between, there will be wars and rumors of wars. Men will rise and fall. Kings will take crowns and lose them. The world will turn. It will have time. Go west, it says. Go back to the lands of men and hobbits. Hide me there. I will sleep. I will wait. When the time comes, I will wake. You will be my first servant, Smeagol. You will be my herald in the dark. Herald. The word means nothing to Gollum, but the tone is rich and warm, like meat on a bone. He grins, a horrible, delighted expression. Yes, he whispers. Yes, we will go. We will go back. We will show them. Oh, yes. They thought they tricked us. They thought they used us. We will show them. He does not know that the first of those he will show is not a hobbit at all. In the tower of Tirith Ungol, Sam finds Frodo. He lies naked on a bed of filthy rags, his skin pale and clammy, his eyes sunken. Bruises bloom on his arms and chest. His left shoulder is bandaged, the wound from the Morgul blade still a black, throbbing pain beneath the skin. His lips move, but no sound comes. Sam drops to his knees beside him. "Mr. Frodo," he says, voice breaking. "Mr. Frodo, wake up! It is me. It is Sam." Frodo's eyes flicker. For a moment, they are clear. "Sam?" he whispers. "Yes, Mr. Frodo. I am here. I'm sorry. I lost it. I lost the ring." Frodo's hand jerks, as if reaching for a chain that is no longer there. His eyes fill with a terrible, raw despair. "It is gone," he says. "It is gone." "Sam, what have we done?" Sam swallows. He could lie. He could say that it is safe, that it is destroyed. He could give Frodo a moment of peace before the end. But he cannot. He is Samwise Gamgee. He has never been good at lies. "I do not know where it is," he says. "Gollum took it, maybe. Or it fell. Or something. But it is not here. And the mountain has not fallen. So it is not done." Frodo closes his eyes. For a moment, Sam thinks he has fainted. Then he speaks, very softly. "Then we have failed." The words hang in the air like smoke. Sam's hands curl into fists. "No," he says, though he does not know what he is denying. "No, Mr. Frodo, we are not dead yet. There is still something we can do. We can get out of here. We can go down the mountain. We can go home." Frodo laughs. It is a small, broken sound. "Home," he whispers. "Sam, there is no home for us now. Not for me. Even if we could get back, even if the Shire still stands, I am not the hobbit who left it. I am hollow." Sam's eyes sting. He grips Frodo's hand. "Then I will be your home," he says fiercely. "I will carry you. I will stand by you. I will not leave you, not now, not ever. We may have failed at the quest, but we have not failed each other. Not yet." Frodo looks at him. For a moment, something like light moves in his eyes. "Help me up," he says. Sam does. They dress Frodo in orc rags. They take swords from dead hands. They move through the tower like ghosts, slipping past rooms where bodies lie in heaps, past armories where rusted blades hang on the walls. They find a stair that leads down. Outside, the sky over Mordor is a lid of smoke. "Ah," the mountain mutters. The eye turns, again and again searching for a ring that is no longer within its grasp. On the plain before the Black Gate, the battle turns. For a time, the courage of men holds. The Rohirrim charge, their horses screaming, spears lowered. The men of Gondor stand shoulder to shoulder, shields locked. The Dunedain fight with the grim determination of those who know their deaths are already paid for. But there are too many. Orcs pour from the gate in endless waves. Trolls smash through the lines. The Nazgul dive, scattering ranks like leaves. Men fall. Horses scream and go down. The green of Rohan and the silver of Gondor are trampled into the mud. Aragorn fights like a man in a dream. He sees a troll lumbering toward him, hammer raised. He ducks under the swing, Andoril flashing, and drives the blade up into the beast's chest. It roars and falls, nearly crushing him. He rolls aside, gasping. A shadow falls over him. He looks up. The Witch King is dead, but the other Nazgul live. One of them descends, its mount's jaws gaping, teeth like knives. Its black hood turns toward him. He feels a cold that is not of this world wash over him, freezing his limbs. He tries to raise his sword. His arm will not move. Isildur's heir, the ring wraith hisses, voice like dead leaves. You come to die where your fathers fell. Gandalf's horse rears. The wizard rides between Aragorn and the Nazgul, staff raised. Light flares from its tip, white and pure, driving the shadow back. The fell beast shrieks, veering away. The Nazgul hisses and retreats, circling. Gandalf glances at Aragorn. His eyes are grave. "This cannot last," he says. Aragorn nods. He knows. They are buying time with their lives. Time for a quest that has already failed. In the deep places, Gollum finds a river. It is not a river like those under the sky, broad and laughing, full of light. It is a black, slow thing, sliding through a tunnel worn smooth by ages. Its surface gleams dully. The air above it is cold and damp. He crouches on the bank and dips his hand in. The water is icy. He hisses and jerks back, then leans forward again, curiosity overriding discomfort. He cups his hands and drinks. The water is clean. It tastes of stone and old darkness. He smiles. "Good," he murmurs. "Good water, good river. We likes rivers, precious. We knows rivers. Rivers goes places. The ring is silent." It remembers another river, the Anduin, broad and deep, carrying Isildur's body, and the ring itself down into the deeps where Smeagol's cousin had found it. It remembers the cold hands that had fumbled for it, the murder on the riverbank. It remembers the long, slow drift down into the dark. This river is smaller, but it goes somewhere. Gollum slips into the water. It closes over his head, shockingly cold. For a moment, he panics, flailing. Then his old instincts take over. He kicks, he strokes, he moves with the water, not against it. He has always been a creature of rivers. The current takes him. He floats in darkness, the ring on his finger, his pale body a thin shadow in the black. The tunnel roof passes overhead, sometimes low enough that he must duck, sometimes high enough that he cannot see it. The sound of the water fills his ears. Time stretches. There is no day or night here, no sun, no stars, only the slow, steady movement of the water and the whisper of the ring in his mind. "West," it says, when he drifts near some side passage. Not there, not yet. West. He does not know what west is, not in any way that could be mapped, but the ring does. It feels the pull of the world, the lay of lands, the hearts of men and elves. It guides him through cracks and channels that no map ever marked. Days pass. Above, the war rages. In Minas Tirith, the wounded heal as they may. Eowyn wakes. She lies in a white bed, the light soft on her face. Her arm aches. Her chest aches. Her heart aches most of all. She remembers the Witch King's scream. She remembers Merry's small body pressed against her back as she faced the shadow that men said no man could kill. She remembers the moment when she stood between death and Théoden, her uncle, her king. She remembers the feel of the Nazgul's black breath on her skin. She should be dead. She is not. Faramir sits beside her bed, a book in his hand. He looks up as she stirs. "You are awake," he says. His voice is gentle. She studies his face. She had seen him before, in the houses, half in a dream, his own fever burning. She had not cared then. She had been empty. She had wanted only death, or glory, or both. Now, in the quiet after battle, something in her shifts. "What news?" she asks. He hesitates. "The captains of the West have marched to the Black Gate," he says. "To draw the eye, to give Frodo and Samwise a chance." "And has the eye turned?" she asks. He looks toward the window. Outside, the sky is still grey. "It has," he says, "but we do not know why. We do not know what has happened on the mountain." She closes her eyes. She sees, in her mind, a small hobbit with weary eyes and a burden too great for any one heart. She sees another, round-faced and sturdy, his loyalty like iron. She sees them climbing in the dark. "May they find the strength we did not," she whispers. She does not know that they have already found something else. On the slopes of Mount Doom, Frodo and Sam stumble downward. The ground shakes under their feet. The mountain is restless. Without the ring so close to its heart, the fire within seethes, uncertain. The ancient power that Sauron bound there with his craft stirs. The link between ring and mountain is not broken, but it is stretched, frayed. Frodo leans on Sam. Every step is an effort. His body is broken, his spirit worn thin. Without the ring, there is a strange lightness in him, but it is not relief. It is emptiness. He feels as if something has been torn out of him, leaving a hollow that the cold wind of Mordor whistles through. "Sam," he says, voice hoarse. "What will we do if we get down?" Sam does not answer at once. He's thinking of the ring, of Gollum, of the way the creature had looked at Frodo, a mixture of adoration and hatred, of the way Frodo had spared him again and again, of the way the quest had depended in part on that pity. "We will go as far as we can," he says at last. "We will try to get out of Mordor. Maybe we will not make it. Maybe we will die on the plain. But we will not sit here and wait for them to come and take us." Frodo nods. He understands. They go on. Behind them, in the deep places, Gollum's river journey ends. The tunnel widens, the water slows. He feels the current slacken, feels his body bump against something solid. He flails, grabs, finds rock. He hauls himself out of the water, shivering. The air is different. It smells cleaner. He blinks. There is light ahead. Not the red, sullen glow of Mordor's fires, but a pale, grey light, like dawn through mist. He moves toward it, dripping. The tunnel mouth opens onto a ravine. Steep walls of rock rise on either side, streaked with moss and lichen. A thin ribbon of the river trickles along the bottom, joining a larger stream that runs clear and cold over stones. Above, the sky is a low, unbroken grey. He squints. The light hurts his eyes. He has been too long in the dark. He hisses and draws back, then forces himself forward again. The ring on his finger hums faintly. It is not displeased. He looks around. There are no towers here, no orcs, no black banners. The land is bleak, rocky, but there are scraggly bushes clinging to the slopes, and here and there a twisted tree. He has come out on the western side of the Ifil Duath, the mountains of shadow. Mordor lies behind him. Gondor lies ahead. He bares his teeth. "West," he whispers. "We goes west." He does not see, high above on the ridge, the lone figure who watches him. Faramir stands with a cloak of grey and green drawn around him, blending with the rocks. He has come to the borderlands with a small company of rangers, to watch the marches of Mordor even as the captains of the West march to the Black Gate. Denethor is dead. The city has a king, or will soon, but Faramir is still captain of the Rangers of Ithilien. He knows these lands. He knows their dangers. He had not expected to see a creature crawl out of the mountains like a drowned rat. He narrows his eyes. He has seen Gollum before, by the pool of Henneth Anun when he had taken Frodo and Sam. He remembers the way Frodo had pleaded for the creature's life. He remembers the way it had cringed and grovelled, the way its eyes had fixed on the ring on Frodo's chain. He had let it go, trusting Frodo's judgment. Now, here it is again, without Frodo, without Sam, without any hobbit at all. He cannot see the ring on its finger, for it is invisible. But he feels something, a prickle on his skin, a sense of wrongness. He He has felt it before in Osgiliath when the Nazgul came. A cold, creeping dread, like fingers on the back of his neck. He gestures to the ranger beside him. "Sirion," he murmurs. "Look there." The man peers. "What is it, Lord?" he whispers. Faramir's hand tightens on his bow. "I do not know," he says, "but I do not like it. We will follow." Gollum moves along the ravine, keeping to the shadows. He mutters to himself, half words, half sounds. He's thinking of food, of shelter, of how far he can go before the sun rises higher and burns his eyes. He's not thinking of rangers. He's not thinking of arrows. He's thinking of the Shire. Soft grass, he croons. Soft leaves. Fat little hobbits. We will go back. We will creep in their windows. We will show them. We will have their food. We will have their beds. We will have everything. The ring is quiet. It listens. It tastes the word Shire in his mind. It remembers the party tree. It remembers Bag End. It remembers Bilbo's hand. It remembers Frodo's. It is patient. On the plain before the Black Gate, a horn blows. It is a clear, high note cutting through the chaos. Yoma, king of Rohan, raises his sword. "Ride! Now, ride to ruin, and the world's ending!" he cries. The Rohirrim answer with a roar. They charge. For a moment, for a heartbeat, the tide of battle seems to turn. Men rally. Orcs fall back. The troll goes down under a forest of spears. The Nazgul wheel higher, wary of the sudden surge of courage. Aragorn rides at the forefront. He feels something in him ignite. He is no longer merely the chieftain of the Dúnedain. He is the king of Gondor, riding to his last stand. He sees the faces around him, men of Gondor, men of Rohan, men of the North, and he knows that their courage is his responsibility. He raises Andúril. "For Frodo!" he shouts. The words tear from his throat. He does not know that Frodo stumbles at that moment on the black slopes, catching himself on Sam's shoulder. He does not know that Sam, hearing the faint echo of horns, thinks of him and clenches his jaw. He does not know that the name he cries is now the name of a hobbit who has failed. The charge crashes into the enemy. Steel meets steel. Flesh meets claw. Blood sprays. The world narrows to the swing of swords, the crunch of blows, the screams of the dying. Above, the eye burns. It watches. It waits. It does not yet know that its doom has slipped out of its land in the hand of a creature it had once thought beneath its notice. In the ravine, Faramir and his rangers follow Gollum. They move like shadows, cloaks blending with rock and scrub. Their bows are strung, their hands steady. They are too few to challenge any real force, but this is not a force. This is one small, twisted creature muttering to itself. "Shall we take it, Lord?" whispers Sirion. An arrow would end it. Faramir hesitates. He remembers Frodo's face, earnest and pleading. "This creature is bound up with the fate of this thing," Frodo had said. "I have pity for him." He remembers his own words. "I would not snare even an orc with a falsehood. He is not his father. He will not kill out of hand without knowing." "Not yet," he says. "We will see where it goes. We will see what it does. If it leads us to some greater danger, we will deal with it then." He does not know that the greater danger is on its hand. Gollum scrambles up a slope. The ravine opens onto a wider valley strewn with boulders and low scrub. In the distance, he can see a line of darker green that might be the edge of a forest. The sky lightens, the grey thinning. He squints, hisses, pulls his ragged hood over his head. He does not like the open. He prefers tunnels, caves, places where he can feel the roof close above him. But he must cross this. He moves quickly, hunched low. A rock shifts. His foot slips. He falls, rolling, bumping, cursing. The ring flies from his finger. For a heartbeat, it spins through the air, visible. A small, perfect circle of gold. Faramir's breath catches. He knows that ring. He has seen it on Frodo's chain. He has felt its pull. He has dreamed of it. In fever and in waking, he watches it fall. Time seems to slow. Gollum scrabbles, shrieking, reaching for it. The ring hits a stone, bounces. It lands in a patch of scrub, half hidden. Gollum lunges. An arrow thuds into the ground between his hand and the ring. He freezes. Another arrow pins the hem of his ragged cloak to the earth. He shrieks, twisting, clawing at the fabric. "Stay your hand," Faramir calls, stepping out from behind a boulder, bow in hand. Gollum's eyes go wide. "Men," he hisses. "Nasty men. Rangers. We hates them." He lunges again for the ring. Faramir draws. His arrow points straight at the creature's heart. "Do not move," he says, voice like iron, "or you will die." Gollum whimpers. He freezes. His eyes flick from the arrow to the ring, glittering in the scrub. He trembles. Faramir's gaze shifts. He sees the ring. For a moment, for a terrible moment, the world narrows to that small circle of gold. He feels its weight in his mind. He hears, very faintly, a whisper. "Take me," it says. "You are the son of a steward. Your father burned, mad and empty. Your brother died in vain. Your city stands on the brink. Take me. Save them. Rule them. You are wise. You are just. You would be a better lord than the Dark One." His fingers tightens on the bow. He sees Minas Tirith, white and proud, no longer under the shadow of Mordor. He sees Osgiliath rebuilt, its towers shining. He sees himself on the throne, not as a tyrant, but as a guardian. He sees peace. He sees the Eye. He sees the Nazgul. He sees the madness in his father's eyes. He takes a breath. He lets it out. "No," he says, though his lips barely move. He lowers the bow, just slightly. "Cirion," he says, "cover it." The ranger blinks. "My lord." "The ring." Faramir says, "Cover it. Do not touch it with your skin. Use cloth. Wrap it. Quickly." Cirion swallows. He moves forward, keeping his bow trained on Gollum. He takes a strip of cloth from his belt, wraps it around his hand, and reaches for the ring. The moment his fingers close on it, even through the cloth, he gasps. His eyes widen. Faramir sees his knuckles whiten. "Cirion," he says sharply. The ranger flinches. He jerks his hand back, the ring wrapped in cloth. It speaks," he whispers, voice shaking. "It promises. It lies," Faramir says. He steps forward, never taking his eyes off Gollum. "Bind that creature," he says, "and bring the ring to me." Gollum screams. "No!" he howls. "No, precious! They cannot have you. They cannot! We found you. We keeps you!" He thrashes, clawing at the arrows pinning his cloak. The rangers move fast. They are on him in a moment. Strong hands gripping his arms, twisting them behind his back. He bites, he kicks, he spits, but they are many, and he is one. They bind his wrists with leather thongs. He writhes on the ground, sobbing. "Traitors!" he wails. "Thieves! We hates you! We hates you forever!" Faramir kneels. Cirion holds out the cloth-wrapped bundle, his hand trembling. Faramir takes it. The weight is small. The weight is immense. He feels it, even through the cloth, like a pressure in his skull. He closes his eyes. He sees Frodo again, standing in the cavern of Henneth Annwn, water falling behind him like silver curtains. "I think this task is appointed for you, Frodo," he had said. "If you ask me, I will say that you have no choice but to go on. If you do not wish to fall into the hands of the Dark Lord." Frodo had gone on. Frodo had failed. The ring is here now, in his hands. He could end this. He could take it to Minas Tirith. He could give it to Aragorn. He could use it himself. He could cast it into the sea. He could bury it. He could... Faramir. The voice is not in his ears. It is in his mind. It is deep and smooth and persuasive. You are wise, it says. You are strong. You have resisted much. You have borne your father's scorn, your brother's death, your own near end. You love your city. You love your people. With me, you could save them. You could make a realm of peace. You could heal what is broken. He sees it. He sees himself standing on the walls of Minas Tirith, the ring on his hand, the hosts of Mordor broken before him. He sees Sauron's eye dimming, shrinking, vanishing. He sees the Nazgul falling from the sky. He sees the sun rising over a world freed from shadow. He sees himself, older, sitting in a high chamber, the weight of years on his shoulders, the ring still on his finger, his eyes hard. He sees men bowing, not in respect, but in fear. He sees the white tree, its branches heavy with black fruit. He opens his eyes. He is kneeling in a rocky valley, the wind cold on his face, the smell of damp earth in his nose. The ring is in his hand, wrapped in cloth. Gollum writhes at his feet, sobbing. He makes his choice. "We will take it to Minas Tirith," he says. The words fall like stones. Cirion stares. "My lord," he whispers, "is that wise?" Faramir looks at him. His eyes are very clear. "No," he says, "it is not wise, but it may be necessary. Aragorn and the captains are at the Black Gate. If they fall, the city will stand alone. If Sauron takes this, all is lost. If we keep it, there is a chance, however small, that we may yet find a way to destroy it, or to use it against him. He does not say that he does not trust himself with it. He does not say that he fears what it will do to his city. He does not say that he sees no other path. He stands. Bind it well, he says. We will not let it touch our skin. We will not put it on. We will not listen to it. The ring is very quiet. It has time. On the plain before the Black Gate, men fall. The charge has spent itself. The Rohirrim are scattered. The men of Gondor are driven back, step by bloody step. The Nazgul descend again, their shrieks tearing at the hearts of the living. Trolls wade through bodies. Orcs climb over their dead. Aragorn stands on a small hill of corpses. His breath comes in ragged gasps. His armor is dented, his face streaked with blood and dirt. Anduril is nicked and stained, but its light has not dimmed. He looks around and sees only ruin. Gimli is at his side, panting, his axe red. Legolas stands a little apart, an arrow on his string, his eyes bright and hard. Gandalf sits his horse nearby, staff in hand. "We are surrounded," Gimli says. "So it seems," Aragorn replies. He feels no fear now. There is only a strange, calm clarity. He looks at Gandalf. "Is there any hope?" he asks. Gandalf's eyes are distant. "I do not know," he says. He's listening for some tremor in the world, some sign that the ring has been unmade. There is none. The eye still burns. The Dark Lords will still presses on the world like a weight. He has failed. They have all failed. Yet they stand. Then we will make such an end as will be worth a song," Aragorn says. He lifts Anduril. "For the west!" he cries. They charge again. In Minas Tirith, the bells begin to toll. Not for victory, for prayer. The people gather in the courts and on the walls, faces turned east. They do not know what is happening at the Black Gate. They know only that their fate hangs there. Gjóin stands on a balcony, her arm in a sling. Faramir is not beside her. He has gone out with his rangers against the council of the healers. He could not rest while his land still burned. She had watched him go, a small company slipping through the ruined gates. She grips the stone. She feels something in her chest that is not fear. It is not hope. Either it is something in between. Do not let it end in darkness, she whispers. In the rocky valley, Faramir and his company move north, keeping to the shadows. Gollum stumbles between two rangers, bound and gagged now, his eyes rolling. He glares at Faramir with a hatred that is almost pure. Precious, he mumbles around the gag. Precious, precious. The ring is wrapped in many layers of cloth now, bound with leather thongs, hung in a small bag at Faramir's belt. He can feel its weight with every step. It tugs at him, whispering, cajoling, pleading. He does not answer. He sets his face toward Minas Tirith. The journey is slow. They must avoid patrols of orcs, bands of Haradrim, the watchful eyes of crows. They move by night, rest by day in hollows and caves. The land is scarred by war, fields trampled, villages burned. Faramir sees his country and grieves. He sees a farmhouse, its roof blackened, its walls collapsed. In the yard, a child's toy lies in the mud, a wooden horse with one wheel broken. He picks it up, turns it in his hand, then sets it gently on a stone. He touches the bag at his belt. What price would you have me pay to mend this? He thinks. The ring does not answer in words. It shows him a vision. The farmhouse, rebuilt, the fields, green. The child, laughing. He closes his eyes. He opens them. He walks on. On the slopes of Mount Doom, Frodo and Sam reach the lower ash plain. They are exhausted. Every step is an effort. The ground here is cracked and broken, strewn with rocks and pits. The air is thick with dust. In the distance, they can see the black line of the Morannon, the black gate, and the writhing mass of battle before it. They stop. Sam leans on his sword, chest heaving. Frodo sinks to his knees. Sam, he says weakly, we cannot go that way. Sam looks. He sees the armies. He sees the banners. He sees the Nazgul wheeling. He knows he is right. We will not, he says. We will find another way. There must be some crack, some hole. We got in. We can get out. Frodo laughs, a bitter sound. Do you really think there is any place in this world where he will not find us, Sam? He asks. Without the ring, we are nothing. We are two small hobbits in a land of enemies. Sam straightens. He looks at the mountain. He looks at the plain. He looks at his master. We are Sam and Frodo, he says. That is what we are, and that has to be enough. He does not know that in the end, it will be. On the plain before the Black Gate, a great shadow falls. The ground shakes. Men look up. The sky above the Morannon darkens, not with cloud, but with something deeper, heavier. The eye on the dark tower flares, then narrows, focusing on the battle. From the gate, something comes. It is not Sauron himself. He cannot yet take form outside his tower, but it is an extension of his will, a great black shape like a man, tall as a tower, wreathed in shadow and flame. In its hand is a mace that crackles with dark lightning. Its face is a void, its eyes two pits of fire. Men quail. Even the Nazgul draw back. Gandalf's face goes pale. This is bad, Gimli mutters. Very bad, Legolas agrees. Aragorn sets his jaw. He steps forward. The shadow thing strides into the field, each step shaking the ground. Orcs scatter before it. Trolls bow. It raises its mace. Isildur's heir, it says, voice like grinding stone. You come at last, Aragorn lifts Andúril. I am Aragorn, son of Arathorn, he says, and this is your end. He does not believe it, not entirely, but he must speak as if he does. He must stand as if there is hope. The shadow laughs. It swings. The mace comes down like a falling mountain. Aragorn meets it. Andúril flares, white and bright. Steel meets shadow. The impact throws him back. He flies, hits the ground, rolls, the breath knocked from him. His vision blurs. He tastes blood. The shadow strides forward, mace rising again. Gandalf spurs his horse. He rides between Aragorn and the blow, staff raised. Light explodes. For a moment, the shadow thing hesitates. Gandalf's face is set. "You shall not take him," he says. The shadow's eyes flare. "You have meddled too long, Olorin," it says. "You have walked in flesh and whispered in the ears of men. You have delayed me, but you cannot unmake what I have wrought." It swings. The mace hits the staff. The white wood shatters. Gandalf is thrown from his horse. He hits the ground hard. The world goes grey around him. He hears, very faintly, the sound of a small voice long ago saying, "I will take the ring, though I do not know the way." "I am sorry, Frodo," he whispers. He does not get up. The battle falters. Men see the White Rider fall. They see the shadow thing looming over him. Despair washes through the ranks. On the walls of Minas Tirith, the people cry out. They do not know why. They only feel like a wind from the east, a sudden sharp chill. Eowyn grips the stone until her knuckles whiten. "No," she says. In the rocky valley, Faramir stops. He feels something, a tremor, a shiver in the air. He looks east. The sky over Mordor is a deeper grey now, almost black. He touches the bag at his belt. The ring is warm. He knows, in that moment, that something terrible is happening at the Black Gate. He knows that Aragorn may die. He knows that Gandalf may fall. He knows that Minas Tirith may stand alone. He looks at the ring. He looks at his men. He looks at Gollum, glaring at him with a hatred that could burn stone. He makes another choice. "We turn," he says. Sirion stares. "My lord, we turn," Faramir repeats. "We go not to Minas Tirith. Not yet. We go to the mountain. If the ring cannot be destroyed there, it cannot be destroyed anywhere. If we bring it to the city, we will only give Sauron a nearer prize when he takes our walls. We must try again." "Try what?" Sirion asks, voice thin. "The hobbits have failed. The mountain still stands. How can we, a handful of rangers, do what they could not?" Faramir's mouth is a tight line. "I do not know," he says, "but I know this. If we do nothing, we are lost. If we bring this to Minas Tirith, we are lost. If we turn our backs on the mountain, we are lost. So we go." He does not say that he feels in some deep place that this is what he was meant to do, that his meeting with Frodo was no accident, that his pity then binds him now. He looks at Gollum. "You will guide us," he says. Gollum hisses. He shakes his head violently. "No, no, no," he mumbles around the gag. We will not go back. We will not go to the fire. We will not help them. They stole precious. They stole it." Faramir's eyes are cold. "You will guide us," he repeats, "or I will leave you here, bound for the orcs to find, or for worse. Perhaps the eye itself will look on you." Gollum goes still. He remembers the dungeons. He remembers the eye. He trembles. He nods, very slowly. Faramir removes the gag. Gollum spits. "We hates you," he hisses. "We hates you forever. But we hates him more. We hates the eye. We will guide you. Yes, we will. We will guide you to the fire. And maybe you will all burn." "So be it," Faramir says. They turn east. On the plain before the Black Gate, Aragorn struggles to his feet. His ribs ache. His head rings. He sees Gandalf on the ground, the staff broken beside him. He sees the shadow thing looming. He sees men faltering, some dropping their swords, some falling to their knees. He cannot let this stand. He steps forward. He raises Andúril. He does not shout this time. He whispers. For the world that was, he says. For the world that may yet be, he charges. Legolas and Gimli go with him. Behind them, a handful of men follow. They throw themselves at the shadow. It is like charging a storm. Lightning lashes from the mace, throwing men aside. Shadow-wreathed hands swat them like flies. Yet they strike. Andúril bites into darkness. Gimli's axe cleaves shadow. Legolas' arrows pierce it. The thing roars. It is not Sauron. It is only a fragment of his will. But a fragment of such a being is still more than any mortal can hope to face. Still, they stand. In the houses of healing, Merry wakes. His arm aches, his head aches. He feels small and useless. He hears the bells, he hears the whispers. The Black Gate, someone says. They have reached the Black Gate. He thinks of Pippin, he thinks of Éowyn, he thinks of Theoden. He pushes himself up, he staggers to the window. He looks east, he sees only grey. He clenches his small fists. I wish I could do something, he mutters. He does not know that his part is played, that others take up the burden now. On the slopes of Mount Doom, Frodo and Sam see movement. Figures, small in the distance, climbing. Sam squints. Orcs, he says. Frodo shakes his head. Their movement is different, he says. Quieter, more careful. Sam's heart leaps. Gollum, he says. Frodo's face tightens. Perhaps, he says. Or perhaps something else. They wait. They do not have the strength to run. After a time, they see them more clearly. Men in cloaks of grey and green moving like shadows. At their head, a tall man with dark hair, a bow on his back. Between two of them, a small twisted shape, bound. Sam's breath catches. It is him, he says. It is Mr. Faramir. Frodo sways. He remembers the captain of Gondor, the way he had looked at the ring, the way he had let him go. Hope and fear twist together in his chest. The Rangers see them. A shout goes up. Faramir quickens his pace. Frodo, he calls. Samwise. Sam waves weakly. We lost it, he says as they draw near, voice breaking. We lost the ring. Faramir stops. He looks at them. He looks at the bag at his belt. He feels the weight of it. He opens it. He shows them the cloth-wrapped bundle. You did not, he says. Frodo stares. His knees buckle. Sam catches him. The quest is not ended, Faramir says. Not yet. The ring stirs. It feels them. It feels Frodo's nearness, his familiar mind, worn and thin but still bound to it. It feels Sam's stubborn loyalty. It feels Faramir's grim resolve. It feels Gollum's hatred. It considers. This is not the path it had chosen. It had intended to go west, to sleep, to wait. It had intended to let Sauron fall or endure as he might, and then to rise again in some other age. But paths change. Wills meet. Choices are made. Here, on the slopes of the mountain, all the threads knot again. It could still flee. It could slip from Faramir's hand, roll into a crack, vanish. It does not. It is curious. It wants to see. Frodo reaches out. His hand trembles. He does not touch the ring. He touches the cloth. His eyes close. He feels it, the familiar weight, the familiar hunger. It is like the sudden smell of food to a starving man. He sways. Mr. Frodo, Sam says quietly. Do not. Frodo opens his eyes. He looks at Faramir. What do you mean to do? He asks. Faramir's face is pale. We go to the fire, he says. We try again. If you have the strength to carry it, I will give it back to you. If you do not, I will bear it as far as I may. But we must try. Frodo laughs. It is a harsh, cracked sound. You do not know what you ask, he says. I have carried it to the very edge of the fire. I failed. I claimed it. It is mine now, in a way it was never anyone else's. If I take it again, I will not give it up. Not to you. Not to anyone. The words hurt him. They are true. Faramir nods. I believe you, he says. He does not offer it. He does not keep it. He looks at Sam. Sam's eyes are wide. No, Sam says at once. No, Mr. Faramir. I had it once. It near broke me. I am only a gardener. I am not meant for this. Faramir smiles a small, sad smile. Nor am I, he says. Nor was Frodo, nor was Bilbo. Yet here we are. He looks at the mountain. Smoke coils from its summit. The air is hot. The ground trembles. He takes a breath. I will bear it, he says. The words fall like a stone into a still pool. Ripples spread. Gollum hisses. No, he snarls. No, no, no. Men cannot have it. Men always takes it. Men always keeps it. They burns, they kills, they makes war. They is worse than the eye. Give it back to Smeagol. Give it back to us. Faramir looks at him. There is no world in which I give this to you, he says. He unwraps the cloth. The ring lies in his palm. Small, perfect, utterly ordinary, utterly not. He feels its weight. He hears its voice. Faramir, it says, you are wise, you are just, you are merciful. You would not use me as Sauron did. You would wield me for good. You would make a kingdom of peace. Take me, put me on. End this. He closes his fingers around it. He does not put it on. He ties the cloth again. He hangs it around his neck, under his tunic, against his skin. It burns. He gasps. Lord Faramir, Cirion says urgently. Do not. I must, Faramir says through clenched teeth. I am steward of Gondor no longer, but I am still its son. I cannot ask another to bear what I will not. He turns to Frodo and Sam. Will you come? He asks. Frodo looks at the mountain. He looks at Faramir. He looks at Sam. I cannot carry it, he says. I cannot be what I was. But I can walk beside you. I can tell you what waits. I can be there. Sam nods. I will go wherever Mr. Frodo goes, he says. Gollum laughs, a bitter, cracked sound. Yes, he says. Go, little hobbits. Go with the man. See what he does when he gets to the fire. See if he throws it away. See if any of you can. We knows. We knows you cannot. We knows what it does. We knows. Faramir meets his gaze. I do not know, he says quietly, but I will find out. They climb. The path to the cracks of doom is a scar of black stone, narrow and steep. The air grows hotter with every step. The ground shakes. Smoke stings their eyes. The roar of the fire within the mountain grows louder. Faramir feels the ring on his chest like a brand. It whispers, it pleads, it promises. He remembers his father. He remembers Boromir. He remembers a horn, broken. He remembers a small hobbit with a great burden, standing before him in a cavern of falling water. He goes on. Frodo stumbles. Sam catches him. Gollum is dragged. He curses, he spits, he mutters. He watches Faramir with a burning, hungry gaze. He can smell the ring. He can feel it. He wants it. He hates it. They reach the entrance. The air that pours from the crack is a blast furnace. It sears their lungs. The floor inside glows faintly, cracks running with molten rock. The ceiling is lost in smoke. At the far end, a chasm opens, its depths filled with a roiling red-gold sea of fire. Faramir stops. He cannot breathe. The ring on his chest is a weight, a heat, a voice. Do not, it says. Do not throw me away. Think of your city. Think of your people. Think of your father, mad and burning. Think of your brother, dead on the riverbank. Think of all you have lost. I can give it back. I can make it right. Just put me on. Just once. He takes a step forward. His hand lifts, almost of its own accord, toward the chain. Frodo sees. He knows that gesture. He has made it. Again and again. Faramir, he says softly. Do not trust yourself. Faramir laughs, a harsh, broken sound. I do not, he says. That is the problem. He takes another step. The heat is unbearable. His skin feels as if it is blistering. His eyes water. The ring is a weight pulling him forward, like a hook in his chest. He thinks of Minas Tirith. He thinks of Éowyn standing on a balcony looking east. He thinks of the farmhouse and the wooden horse. He thinks of a boy long ago sitting in a library reading of Númenor and its fall. He thinks of the pride of kings. He thinks of the humility of hobbits. He stops. He's at the edge. The fire roars below, hungry. He reaches for the chain. He wraps his hand around the ring. It burns. He screams. He lifts it. Behind him, Gollum lunges. He has been waiting. He has been watching. He has seen the man falter, seen his hand tremble. He knows that no one can throw the precious away. He knows that in the end, they all fail. He throws himself at Faramir's back, teeth bared. Sam shouts, Frodo reaches. Sirion moves. It is too late. Gollum hits Faramir. The force of it, small as he is enough. Faramir stumbles. He teeters on the brink. He feels the ring in his hand. He feels Gollum's claws on his shoulders. He feels the heat of the fire. He makes one last choice. He lets go. He does not try to save himself. He does not try to save the ring. He lets both fall. For an instant, he hangs in the air. He sees the red gold sea below. He sees the ring, a small, bright circle, tumbling beside him. He thinks of his father. He thinks of Boromir. He thinks of a white city under the sun. He smiles. Then he falls into the fire. The ring falls with him. There is a sound like the world cracking. The fire flares white. The mountain screams. On the plain before the black gate, the shadow thing staggers. The eye on the dark tower flares, then shrinks, then flares again. Sauron feels it. He feels the ring touch the fire. He feels its bond to him, forged in the depths of Orodruin, begin to unravel. He reaches. He pours his will into it. He tries to pull it back. He has done this once before, when Isildur held it above the fire and turned away. He had whispered then. He had tempted. He had won. This time, there is no hand to pull it back. Only fire. Only the will of a man who let go. The ring melts. It is not a gentle unmaking. It screams. It fights. It clings to existence with all the stubborn, hungry will that has driven it for ages. It tries to hold its shape. It tries to hold its power. It tries to cling to Sauron, to drag him out of the fire with it. It fails. It falls apart. Gold runs like water. The letters of fire on its surface blaze, then vanish. The core of its power, the piece of Sauron's own essence bound into it, is torn from him. He howls. The dark tower shudders. Cracks run up its sides. The great eye flares, then goes dark. The shadow thing on the battlefield dissolves. The Nazgûl scream. Their mounts falter, then plummet, falling like stones from the sky. On the plain before the black gate, men stare. The ground shakes. The black gate cracks. The towers of the Morannon crumble. Orcs drop their weapons, clutching their heads, howling as some invisible force tears through them. Trolls stagger and fall. The great beasts of Harad rear and trumpet, eyes rolling. Aragorn feels the weight lift. It is as if a great hand has been taken from his throat. He looks up. He sees the dark tower of Barad-dûr, far in the distance, sway. He sees it break. The top falls first, a great crown of iron and stone tumbling. The rest follows, collapsing in on itself, a slow, majestic ruin. Dust and fire billow up, a vast cloud that mushrooms into the sky. He falls to his knees. Gandalf, lying on the ground, opens his eyes. He smiles. So, he says softly, it is done. On the slopes of Mount Doom, the mountain erupts. Flame jets from its summit. A pillar of fire that pierces the clouds. The ground heaves. Rocks tumble. The air is filled with ash and smoke and the roar of unbound power. Frodo and Sam are thrown to the ground. Sirion staggers. Gollum shrieks. The heat is unbearable. The very air seems to burn. "Mr. Frodo!" Sam shouts. He crawls toward him, half blind. Frodo is on his back, eyes wide, staring at the sky. His face is lit by the fire. Tears run down his cheeks. "It is gone," he whispers. Sam takes his hand. "Yes," he says. Gollum crouches nearby, rocking, clutching his head. "Precious," he sobs. "Precious, precious, precious." He feels something in him tear. For centuries, the ring has been the axis of his world. Without it, there is only emptiness. He howls. Rocks fall. The crack of doom widens. The chamber shakes. Sirion grabs Frodo's arm. "Come!" he shouts. "We must get out!" Sam hauls at Frodo. They stumble toward the entrance. Behind them, the chasm collapses. Fire roars. In the valley, the rangers look up. They see the mountain erupt. They see the skylight. They hear the distant echoing crash as Barad-dûr falls. They cheer. They weep. In Minas Tirith, the bells change. Their tolling becomes wild, joyous. People pour into the streets, into the courts, onto the walls. They look east and see, far on the horizon, a great cloud rising, lit from within by fire. The dark tower falls. Someone cries. Iwen laughs through tears. She leans on the balcony rail. Her arm aches. Her heart aches. But the ache is different now. It is the ache of something that has been held too tight, suddenly released. In the houses of healing, Merry and Pippin find each other. They cling, small hands gripping tight. "We did it," Pippin says, voice shaking. Merry nods. "We did it," he echoes. On the plain before the Black Gate, the battle ends. Orcs flee, leaderless, their will broken. Some throw down their weapons and cower. Some run into the rocks and are cut down. Trolls lie where they fell, great hulks of meat. Men stand swaying. They look around, dazed. Aragorn rises. He looks at the ruin. He looks at the sky. He feels the absence. The weight that has pressed on the world for so long is gone. He closes his eyes. He opens them. "Gather the wounded," he says hoarsely. "See to the dead. We must go to the mountain. Frodo and Sam." He does not finish. He does not know if they live. He must know. Gandalf nods. He swings himself into the saddle. Shadowfax snorts and stamps. They ride. On the slopes of Mount Doom, the air is a storm of ash and cinders. The ground cracks. Lava flows in bright, lethal rivers. Frodo and Sam stumble, cough, fall, rise. Sirion is with them, his face streaked with soot, his eyes red. Gollum crawls behind, sobbing. They reach a ledge. Beyond it, the ground falls away in a steep slope of loose rock. Far below, the plain of Gorgoroth is a sea of dust and smoke. The air is barely breathable. "We cannot go on," Frodo gasps. Sam looks at him. He looks at the world. He knows he is right. He sinks down beside him. "Then we will stay here," he says. "Together." Sirion stands. He looks down. He looks up. He knows they will not make it far. He knows the mountain may yet bury them. He knows that if they die here, they die in a world where Sauron is fallen. It is enough. He sits. Gollum curls into a ball. He rocks. He mutters, "Gone," he whispers. "Gone, gone, gone." The fire roars. The sky darkens. Then, through the smoke, a white shape appears. Gandalf. He rides on a wind that is not of this world, Shadowfax's mane streaming. Aragorn is with him, Legolas and Gimli at his side. Behind them, a handful of others, faces grim and determined. They land on the slope. They run. Sam blinks. He thinks he is dreaming. "Gandalf," he says. The wizard smiles. "You have done all that you could," he says, "more than anyone could ask." He lifts Frodo and Sam, one in each arm, with a strength that seems impossible. He turns. The ground shakes. The mountain groans. Rocks fall. They rise. They fly. Behind them, Mount Doom collapses. The fire within, unbound from the ring, rages for a time, then gutters. The great cone crumbles, its sides sliding down in vast avalanches of ash and stone. The sky fills with dust. In the east, the dark land is broken. The plains of Gorgoroth crack and split. The towers of Barad-dûr lie in ruin. The Black Gate is a heap of shattered stone. The hosts of Mordor are scattered, leaderless, many fleeing into the wild, many cut down. In the west, the White City stands. Its walls are scarred, its people weary, its towers smoke-stained. But it stands. The war is over. The world breathes. In the days that follow, there is much to mend. Aragorn is crowned King of Gondor and Arnor. He stands on the steps of the White Tower, the crown of Elendil on his brow, the white tree blooming in the court behind him. The people cheer, the banners fly, the sun shines. He looks out over the city. He thinks of those who are not there. Boromir, Theoden, Haldir, countless others, Faramir. He does not yet know, in full, how the ring was destroyed. He knows only that Frodo and Sam were found on the slopes of the mountain, half dead, and that Faramir did not return. Gandalf knows more. Frodo told him, in halting words, of the climb, of the crack, of Faramir's choice, of Gollum's lunge. He told him of the moment when Faramir let go. Gandalf stands in a high chamber of Minas Tirith, looking east. He thinks of the steward's son. He thinks of Boromir's fall and Faramir's rise. He thinks of the way men failed and were redeemed. He thinks of the way the ring chose and was unmade. In Ithilien, a small cairn stands on a green hill. Eowyn and Eomer stand before it, their cloaks stirring in the breeze. The stone is simple, unadorned. There is no body beneath it. The fire took that, but there is a name carved on the stone. Faramir, son of Denethor. Eowyn lays her hand on the rock. She met him in the houses of healing. She walked with him in the gardens. She saw in him a gentleness and a strength that matched her own. She loved him. She did not wed him. The world turned differently. He went to the mountain instead. She feels the wind on her face. She feels the sun. She thinks of what might have been. She thinks of what is. I will remember you, she says. In the Shire, the party tree still stands. The fields are green. The hobbits go about their lives, planting, harvesting, gossiping, singing. They know that something happened in the wide world beyond their borders. They know that darkness rose and fell. They know that 4 of their own went away and came back changed. They do not know how close they came to burning. Gollum is not there to creep in their windows. He did not go west. He lies somewhere under a fall of rock on the slopes of Mount Doom, his thin body broken, his eyes empty. His last word was precious. Sam sits in his garden. Rose is beside him, sewing. Children play on the grass. He looks at the sky. Sometimes, in the quiet of the evening, when the light is soft and the air smells of earth and growing things, he feels a tug in his chest, a memory, a weight. He touches his chest. The chain is gone. The scar remains. He thinks of Frodo. Frodo did not stay. The wound of the ring and the Morgul blade, the burden of the quest, the emptiness left by the unmaking of the thing that had bound itself to his soul. All these were too much. He sailed west, with Gandalf, with Bilbo, with Elrond and Galadriel, seeking the healing that Middle-earth could not give. Sam did not go, not yet. He stays, he plants, he loves, he remembers. In the deep east, beyond the ruins of Mordor, something stirs. Sauron is not gone. He is broken. He is diminished. Without the ring, he is a shadow of a shadow, a will without form, a malice without hand. He drifts, for a time, like smoke on the wind. He cannot take shape. He cannot command armies. He cannot dominate the world. But he can whisper. He can wait. He can hate. He feels the emptiness where the ring was. He feels the tear in his being. He feels the way the world has slipped from his grasp. He vows, in the cold silence of his own ruin, that if he can ever find a way back, he will not bind so much of himself into one thing again. He will spread. He will seep. He will become a rot in the roots of the world. The ages will turn. Men will forget. Old tales will become stories for children. Kings will die. Kingdoms will fall. New powers will rise. There will be other dark lords, other wars, other rings. The memory of the one will fade. Yet sometimes, on a quiet night, when the wind is from the east and the stars are hidden, and the shadows seem to move of their own accord, a man sitting by his fire will feel a chill. He will look at his hand, where a ring of no great worth sits, and for a heartbeat, he will imagine that it is heavier than it should be. He will shake himself. He will laugh. He will say that it is nothing. The fire will burn low. Outside, in the dark, something will watch. And in the west, on the straight road, a small grey ship will move toward a light that no shadow can touch. On its deck, a hobbit with a scar on his shoulder and a hollow in his heart will stand, the wind in his hair, the salt on his lips. He will look back once at the fading line of Middle-earth. He will think of a river and a birthday and a dark cave. He will think of a small, perfect circle of gold melting in fire. He will think of a man letting go. He will whisper a name, Faramir. The sea will take the word and swallow it. The ship will sail on into a light that grows brighter and softer and deeper until there is no more sea, no more ship, no more pain. Behind, in the mortal lands, the world will heal as it may. Scars will fade. Stories will be told. Children will sit by hearths and listen to tales of a ring and a dark lord and a mountain of fire. And they will shiver in the safe dark. They will not know how close it came to being otherwise. They will not know that for one long, terrible moment the ring chose to flee, and the world hung on the will of a man who had every reason to claim it. They will not know that in another path, in another world, that man did not stand at the edge of the fire with it in his hand. In this one, he did. In this one, he let go. And somewhere, in the ruins of a land where nothing green grows, a single blackened stone still holds the faintest warmth, as if remembering the touch of a small, perfect circle of gold that burnt there once and was no more.